Here's some food for thought. If people don't know what the hell you're selling, how are they ever going to buy from you? Chew on that for a second. I'll be right back. You ever see someone's like profile on Facebook, or even sometimes you meet them in person and you're like, I wonder what this person does for a living, and it says something like entrepreneur at iworkformyself.com, or boss at I don't work for anybody, or some like ridiculous thing that's very vague, right? It's not a very specific place where they work or definition of what their work actually is, right? There's three things that we humans really distinguish ourselves by. That's our name, where we work, and where we come from, right? So like people always say, hey man, what's your name, where are you from, what you do for a living, right? Those are the three things that really matter. And so when people look at you on social media sites like Facebook and they want to know like what you do for a living, because that's one of three important things that we've decided as humans, or at least as Americans, that are important to us. We want to know what you did for a living. If we can't see what it is that you do for a living, if it's very vague, we can't decide if we want to do business with you. Right? For all I know, you could sell the coolest thing in the world, like the selfie stick that I'm recording this video from, right? But if I don't know that you sell them, then how am I going to know to come get it from you instead of CVS? I know a lot of people are proud to be entrepreneurs. A lot of people are proud to be self-employed. A lot of people are proud to be the CEO of their own organization. But you need to be more specific. See, my mentors taught me a long time ago that you need to have an offer, what you call it, a magic power that's like 1 or 2 sentences max. Basically, my magic power is I help salespeople and entrepreneurs generate leads, and with those leads generate higher sales conversions on the back end, so ultimately they make more money. Most of that takes place on the internet, right? That's my simple, like what I do for a living. When people ask me, say, hey Ryan, what do you do for a living? The vague answer would be, oh, I'm an internet marketer, right? But if someone's serious, someone that has some interest, someone that comes to me and says, hey Ryan, what do you do for a living? I specifically help consultants, loan officers, real estate agents generate leads and then have a higher back-end closing ratio. Most of that's done through online sources such as social media, etc. It's really simple, right? Help people get leads and close them. So that's fucking real simple. I could even shorten it down right there. But I see a lot of people, especially you people that are the MLMers, right? You're maybe a little bit ashamed, right, for lack of a better word, of the company that you work for. So you put down your personal website, or you put down CEO and loving it, or self-employed and loving it, or I don't work for anybody, or head of the pyramid scheme, or whatever it is that you put down there. But you don't hardly ever see anybody that says like the actual name of the multi-level marketing company that they work for, right? I don't see some of my friends that I know that are like Amway distributors. Their title doesn't say Double Diamond Director at Amway, even though that's what they might be, right? But the reason why is because they don't want to run people off. But maybe, just maybe, if you're selling something that you have some level of shame, maybe you shouldn't be selling it. And if the general public has a bad stigma about whatever it is that you sell and it's not a necessity, in other words, not everybody likes real estate or mortgage people, but we are a necessity. You have to have us. But that's not the same case when it comes to multi-level marketing. There's nothing that I can think of in that industry that's an absolute necessity that you have to have, that they sell and only they sell. So there's something to consider there. But back again, if you're selling something that the general consensus is it doesn't work, and the general consensus is you have to dupe somebody into figuring out what the hell it is you do for a living so that you can explain to them this long story before you finally tell them that it's some multi-level marketing company, maybe it's time to knock that shit off too, right? Maybe that's why it gives you guys such a bad name and stuff like that. And for you entrepreneurs, man, how are people going to know to buy your shit if you're not telling them what shit you have to buy? When you have your Facebook profile there, link to your business page, link to your fan page, put a fucking name of your website or something there. That way, when we check you out, we know what in the world it is that you sell. Because again, like I said in the intro, how in the hell are we going to buy from you if we don't know what you sell? So something to think about. Hey, and if you're one of those people that's really vague so that people ask you and then you can have a conversation with them, that's some fucking douchey shit, man. Knock that off. Tell us what you do for a living so that we don't have to draw out of you the fact that you're trying to sell us some bullshit, right? Just be direct and honest with us. And I promise you, you'll find that you'll attract far more people that are serious about your business when you use the direct approach. And you don't have to have 1,000,001 sales conversations trying to have the Jedi mind trick to convince people that they need some shit that they knew they didn't need in the first place, but they hit you up only to find out that you're trying to sell it to them. See what I'm saying? Share this with somebody who needs it later.
You want some shit, man?